I see it. Awesome. Okay. Hi, everyone. Good morning. We are here for yoga or meditation with Sydney. I'm Sydney. I live in Chicago, Illinois, and I'm going to be taking you on a yoga adventure today. So I'll give you a minute if you want to grab if you have a yoga mat or an exercise mat, or I just have my mat on top of my carpet. Your carpet works totally fine. You just might want somewhere soft just in case. It's sometimes easier to stay in your positions longer if you are on carpet or on your mat. So grab a mat. If you have water nearby, that might be helpful just in case you need it. And we will get started in a second. If you want to do some stretches, I like to do like the butterfly stretch to start, just to get some movement in your body. And this always feels really good on your hips if you have tighter hips like I do. But this is a good butterfly. You can flap your butterfly wings. I'm just going to give everybody a minute to get settled in before we get started. Sometimes while you're doing this, you can stretch your arms over your head. My cat's going to try to do yoga with me. This is Benny. He might be in the video a little bit. So just maybe move your neck out a little bit. Sometimes that helps to release some tension. And we will get started. So, like I said, we're going to go on a little yoga adventure today. If you've never done yoga, don't worry about it. I am going to show you all the poses that we're going to do. And they're all pretty easy. If there's ever a pose that maybe you feel like you can't do right or your body feels weird doing it, don't do it. Just go to a pose that you do like better. You can always come back to butterfly or one of the other poses if you like them when I start to teach. Or you can just move around, stretch however you want, and join back in whenever you're ready. If you need to take a break and get some water, this is going to be a pretty calm yoga flow, so no worries if you don't need any breaks or anything, but feel free to take them if you need. We should be moving pretty slow, taking lots of deep breaths, and it should be pretty calming and hopefully wake you up for the rest of your day. So we're going to get started, and our adventure today, we're going to be going to the zoo. So all of our poses are going to be different animals. So we already started with that with our butterfly. Our butterfly is an animal. And next we're going to do some simple stretches to start. This next pose is called the cat-cow. And so you're going to come on all fours like this. They call this a tabletop. But to do the cat, if you've ever seen, my cat went away now, but if you've ever seen a cat stretch, like when they're feeling really stretched out, they'll do this, arch your back up. Sometimes it feels better to tuck your head under like this. There you go. Do that for a second, take a breath. Don't forget to keep breathing. Now we're going to move into cow. So if you've ever seen a cow do like a really big moo, they'll put their head up. So you're going to bring your belly down towards the ground like this and put your head up like this. You can moo if you want. I like to kind of swish my cow tail back and forth too. That sometimes helps to stretch out your back. So now we're going to move through these two positions a few times. So let's move back to cat. Breathe in, move back to cow, breathe out. Cat, breathe in. Cow, breathe out. Let's do this like 2 more times. Last time, breathe in, breathe out. So now we're going to do one that's actually a standing pose. So it's called the flamingo. And I'm going to move because you're going to have to see me stand. So you're going to stand up and we'll do your right leg first. You're going to put your right leg on either your thigh or you can put it on your calf. Just don't put it on your knee because it can sometimes hurt your knee. So I'm putting mine on my calf down here, or if you're more flexible than I am, you can put it on your thigh. So I like to put my hands together like this. You can also airplane them out or put them above your head. And the further you put your, lose your balance. The further you put your knee out, the more you're going to stretch this muscle right here. So let's hold here for a minute. Take some breaths. Don't forget to breathe. And now we're going to switch to your left. Again, you can either bring it up to your thigh here or to your calf. Don't put it on your knee because you could hurt your knee. And it's harder to stay balanced when it's on your knee too. So take some big breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. So out. And after our yoga practice, I'm going to show you guys a breathing exercise. And that's going to help you know how to breathe, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed or upset or anything. Breathing can really be a great way to calm yourself down and take a deep breath. Alrighty. So now that we're warmed up a little bit, we are going to move into our what's called our flow. So that's where we do, if you've ever watched yoga before, done it, sometimes they'll call it a sun salutation. And we're going to do one of those really quick. So we're going to start with downward facing dog. If you've ever done yoga, you probably know what this one is. If you've ever seen a dog, I don't have my dog in here, but if you've ever seen a dog stretch out, they'll stretch out their back really high. So you're going to put your feet, if you can put them flat on the floor, or I kind of just stand on my toes and make a big triangle with your body. Just stand here for a second, stretch out your calves and your arms. This is a good pose to wake you up because all the blood rushes to your head. So this is a good one just to sit here, stretch out your legs. I like to pedal out my feet. I don't know if you can see, but I kind of pedal like I'm on a bike. This helps to stretch your calves and your thighs. All right, so now that we've got our downward facing dog pose, we are going to move to our warrior two. So you're going to lift up your right leg. We're going to do right first, right side of your body. Right leg up, swing it through and plant it on the ground in front of you. Now you're going to pivot towards the front of the room. So for you, it's going to be towards me and I'm facing towards you. And now you're going to stand up, put your arms out. So you're going to stretch. I like to bend into my front leg. So this is called Warrior Two. It always kind of makes me feel like, I don't know, I feel like Mulan from the Disney movie. So this is a good one. It's not really an animal, but you could feel like an animal in this maybe. But the next one we're going to do is an animal pose. And it's called giraffe. So you're going to put your right elbow on your right knee, which is the bent one in the front. And you're going to lift your left arm above your head like a giraffe neck. You can't really see my arm, but you're going to reach up, maybe grab your hand like you're grabbing at some tree leaves or something. This is the giraffe's long neck. Stretch there. Now, remember to breathe. Take a deep breath. All right. So now we are going to go back down to our downward facing dog. So stretch out here again. If you need to take a break, take a sip of water. You can kind of sit down for a second. Sometimes that can be a really hard part. Take some water. And then we are going to do the other side. So Whenever you're ready, move back into your downward facing dog. Stretch out here. Remember to keep breathing. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Okay, so we're going to start with the other side. Lift up your left leg and swing it through. I'm actually going to turn around so that I'm facing you. So swing it through, and then you're going to lift up, and you'll probably be facing away from me if you want to turn around, but we're going to be doing the same thing that we did on the other side. So if you remember, you can still face away. So stretch out, you're in your warrior two. Stretch out that front leg a little bit. All right, so now we're going to move into that giraffe pose. So go forward, put your elbow on your knee, and stretch that arm above your head. Reach for those tree leaves like a giraffe. Remember to keep breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Good job. Sorry, my cat is getting in things. No, he's meowing at me. Okay, so whenever you're stretched out there, go back down and move to your downward facing dog. And stretch out. This is your last downward facing dog. We're done with that flow. Take some deep breaths, breathe in and breathe out. All right, so now you can come down to your knees. If you need to get more water or take a break, you can do that. So that was our yoga flow. You guys did awesome. It can be, you can tell I'm out of breath. Sometimes it can be a little hard to do some pretty easy, or what you might think are really easy yoga poses. It gets your heart rate going. It, again, when you're like upside down in like the downward facing dog, all the blood is rushing to your head, which wakes you up a little bit. So it's definitely a good way to wake yourself up in the morning. I also like doing some yoga at night. There are other, if you go on YouTube, there are tons of other ways that you can do yoga that bring your heart rate back down and calm you down. So the end of our practice, we're going to do what is called, I'm calling the hippo pose. So I want to make sure you can see. There we go. So for the hippo pose, you're kind of going to make yourself look like a hippo. So put your back feet together, your back toes together, and your knees spread out like this. And then you're going to reach up, and my cat's trying to do yoga, and come back down to the ground. Put your body down, and you can put your forehead to the ground. So this is stretching your hips and your legs, as well as your arms. And just breathe here. Remember to breathe through your nose and out through your mouth. That's how you're going to bring your heart rate down from what our exercise we just did. And it's going to get the most oxygen into your body. Just keep breathing. This is the end of our exercise. So we're calming down. We're bringing ourselves back down a little bit. Now that we're awake, we're ready to go on our day. just breathing. Whenever you're ready, bring yourself back up. And we're going to go into, you can either do butterfly again, or you can cross your legs if you want. So we're going to go here and stretch out our legs a little bit. You can go forward. You're going to stretch out your legs more the more that you put your ankles towards your body and flap. And then if you wanted to stretch out your back, you can move your legs out and bring your head down. I'm not very flexible, so my head doesn't really hit my feet, but alrighty. So now that we're done with that, we're gonna move into the breathing practices that I told you about. So I'm gonna scoot a little closer so you can see me. If you want to get some water, take a break, I will give you a minute. You don't have to be on your mat anymore. You can sit on your couch, sit in your bed, wherever. All right. So if you've never heard of mindful breathing, that is when we are paying attention to our breath. So most of the day, you're not paying attention to your breath, right? You're just breathing normally while you're moving about your day. So mindful breathing is when you are paying attention to how your breath is going through your nose, into your lungs, and then back out your body. And when you're paying attention to your breath, there's a lot of like research that shows that you're able to calm down a lot better whenever you take these deep breaths and focus on them. So I'm going to teach you at least 2 different exercises today to help with this breathing. So the first one is called, flower and leaf breathing. So pretend you're holding a flower in your hand. Any kind of flower you want, whichever one smells the best to you. Pretend you're holding that in your hand. And to breathe in, you're gonna sniff the flower. So you're gonna smell in all those sweet smells of the flower. And hold your breath up there whenever you breathe in. And then when you breathe out, you're gonna pretend that the flower has turned into a leaf. And you're gonna breathe out and blow the leaf and make it flutter in the wind. So you're gonna breathe in the flower, breathe out the leaf. Breathe in the flower, breathe out the leaf. Do that a few times and pay attention again to how the air feels when you're smelling in the flower and it's going in your nose and into your lungs. And then how it feels whenever it's coming out of your mouth when you're blowing the leaf. So breathe in and breathe out. Good job. So that is one way that you can practice mindful breathing, and it's one that you could do anywhere, which is really nice. Another one that you can do is, it's really easy and you can also do anywhere because you're just using your hand. So I like to start I'm right-handed, but I like to use my left hand, and I like to start over here. So basically, every time you go up, you're breathing in, and every time you go down, you're breathing out. So breathe in, breathe out. Next finger, breathe in, breathe out. Third finger, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe out. And your thumb, breathe in, breathe out. All right, we're gonna do that one more time. I won't prompt you, we can kind of just do it together. So start with this with your pinky, or you can start with your thumb if you're doing the other hand. Breathe in. You can close your eyes if you want. Sometimes that helps me focus more on my breathing. Good job. So those are two different ways that you can practice mindful breathing. And I will be doing mindfulness or yoga or both like today every Monday. So please sign online for those. If you have any ideas or any suggestions on what you would like to see, please let me know, leave them in the comments, and I will make sure that I'm doing those. I know it can be hard to be inside right now. And it can be really, you can have those really big feelings like being frustrated or being angry or sad. Any of those big feelings that can be hard to deal with can be even harder now that we're, in this weird time. So please use the practices that I'm teaching you. Tune in. If you have any ideas or you have any questions about anything, please leave them in the comments and I will definitely answer them. And I will see you on next Monday for our next yoga and mindfulness. So have a good one and have a great Monday, and I will see you next week. Bye.